Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching EXPOZ on March 29, 2012, 1:10 a.m., Birmingham, Alabama. And topic today is 2 million set for March on Jerusalem this Friday. Organizer claims, and you can see this at www.timesofisrael.com. I did a blog the other day and I mentioned the number of countries that would eventually come against Israel. I may have missed it. I think I said 80. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I meant to say. And this is the exact number that has signed up to be in this 2 million man march on Jerusalem. 80 countries. The IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, has warned many of these countries, do not do this. The protest is meant to come in, and so far they have warned 64 of these countries. I believe that's the number. But these protesters, they're coming in for other, they're not peaceful. If you know what I'm talking about, Iran personally flies thousands of pro-Palestinian activists to Syria, again, bordering Israel. And Israel, once again, the Israeli Defense Forces fortifies the borders and warns them, do not do this. All I can say is I do not know what's going to happen if this indeed does take place on Friday. As world leaders work for peace in the Middle East, the current peace agreements are unraveling. And this is America, Europe, Russia, and the Middle East all understand this, but no one is standing up and trying to throw a hand up and say, hold it, guys, slow down, let's talk about this, because these are Israel's days, their holidays. They're not the Palestinians, they're not Iranians, they're not Jordans, they're Israel's. And they want to march and they want to get into Tel Aviv and into Jerusalem. I'm going to say this, if they do that, it's going to be a problem getting them out. But let me say this too. You guys remember the 2 million man march in Washington? Or maybe it's a million man with the blacks. Well, to start with, the total number was somewhere less than 150,000. But you can't say that. No, we had 1 million. And out of that, only 12 of them lost a day's pay. You know where I'm coming from. And you can look at the Middle East against Israel in the same manner. These people have nothing else to do. This is their life. They fight. Allah, the moon rock they worship, is a hell of a god. Kill them. But let me say this, and I'm going to close it. If you put the Bible, the King James Bible, against the Quran, and you set down a student or you set down a Christian, and he doesn't have to be knowledgeable of the Bible, and you set down a man with a Quran that's extremely knowledgeable, he's a full-blown Islamic Bible-thumping or Quran-thumping believer, okay, and Allah and Muhammad, But if you sit down and say, okay, you take your Quran, you let your God put words in your mouth, and you speak, and let this man, this Christian, take the King James Version, let his God put words in his mouth, and he speaks. The Bible already says, not the Quran, but our Bible says, at that time, God will put words in your mouth, in the mouth, that cannot be argued against. God's words are absolute, 100%, well, just right. Every book in the Bible was the inspired word of God. And when these people opened their mouth to write the book of the Bible, it's God's words were coming out of their mouth. God spoke through them. We don't have an inspired word of God. We have the word of God, period. And if they would put one on one and let that be the final call, then hands down. And I'll tell you why. How many times have you heard a rock, an intelligent rock, like maybe moon rock, speak? How many times have you heard Muhammad speak? No, you hadn't. Their Quran has been changed 6 times in 3 years to meet their needs, to suit their needs. And right now, they're on the order of changing 2 more things in the Bible because the Quran, I apologize, because it suits their needs. In any case, this weekend, this coming Friday, wow, today's the 29th, at early in the morning. Tomorrow's Friday, y'all. Say a prayer, because all hell could break loose by this weekend. And make sure you're ready. Make sure you know if something happens, you know where you're going. Don't be left in it. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.